وإنا إليه راجعون. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمري. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بكيت وبكي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر الأخذ مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. كل عين باقية يوم القيامة إلا عينان بكات للحسين. لأندبنك صباحا ومساء ولأبقين عليك بدل الدموع دما. Today is the day of crying, brothers and sisters. Today is a day of grief. Imagine seeing your own infant baby with an arrow on his or her neck. Imagine seeing your own brother, 2 arms were chopped off, an arrow on the right eye of that brother. Imagine your own son beheaded and the body chopped in pieces. So that is why narration says, before we enter into the Masaib or the Maktal, كل عين باقية يوم القيامة إلا عينا بكت للحسين. Every eye will cry and shed tears on the day of Qiyamah, save the eye that cry for Abu Abdullah. And that is why if you read Ziyaratun Nahiya, our beloved 12th Imam, Salla andubannaka sabahan wa masa. I will lament and mourn for you, O Husayn, day and night. And I will cry for you blood instead of tears. Now I want brothers and sisters really to pay attention to this maktab and to truly understand what Abu Abdullah went through on the 10th day of Muharram. I want to refer you back to few verses of Quran to understand the position and the maqam of Abu Abdullah. But upon all those positions and maqam, someone had the guard to sit on the chest of Husayn. What does Allah says? قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is telling us of all that Prophet brought to us. In return, Prophet need nothing but the love of Ahlul Bayt. And Husayn is one of the Zil Qurba. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala mentioned in Quran, فَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ فِيهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْا نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ فَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ. One of them is Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. Another ayah of Quran said, أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم. Obey Allah and obey His messenger and those who are charged with authority amongst you. One of those who are charged with authority amongst you is Aba Abdullah. But Shimr sat on the chest of Aba Abdullah. And then you remember those traditions of the prophets. Inna al-Husayna misba'ul huda wa safinat al-najah. Indeed, Husayn is the ark of guidance, or the light of guidance, and an ark of salvation. And one narration Prophet mentioned, Al-Hasan wal-Husayn imamani ka'ma aw ka'ada. Hassan and Husayn, they are imams and leaders, whether sitting or standing. Do you know where the Masaib starts? Masaib began when Aba Abdullah finished sorting out the body of Ali al-Akbar. You know, when he was holding the baby and he looked at the arrow on the neck of the baby, he remembered Bibi Rubaba. How do I approach this lady with the arrow on the neck of the baby? And so Aba Abdullah, he began to enfrow, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi. One narration said, someone came out of Haimaga and he asked Aba Abdullah, what are you doing with the baby up and down? He said, I do not know how to approach Rabah to tell her that there is arrow on the neck of your baby. One narration said, when Aba Abdullah finished sorting out the body of Ali al-Asghar, you know the first thing he did? He went to the camp of Ali Akil. He went around their tent and there was no one in that tent. We are told then Aba Abdullah went to the camp of Ali Ja'far. He went around the camp of Ali Ja'far. There was no one in that camp. You will look at Katilega and will see all their bodies lying there. We are told then Aba Abdullah went to the camp of his companions. He looked around. The camp was empty. There was nobody in that camp. Then Aba Abdullah came out to Katilega. He then went one after the other to the bodies of some of his companions. We are told he first went to the body of Habib ibn Amadhahir. Then Aba Abdullah moved to the body of Muslim ibn Awsaja. Then Aba Abdullah moved to the body of Zuhair ibn al-Qaina. And then you know that was the moment I want brothers and sisters to listen to this line. He began to chant that famous line, Ya Ahla Safa wa ya Farasan al-Hayaja Mali unadikum fala tasma'u wa ad'ukum fala tujibu Iza antum niyamun aw na'imun Hazihi banatu Rasulillah Ala hunna min ba'dukum an-nuqulu Faqumu wadfa'u anhun. About Abdullah, as he was standing next to the body of his companions, he said, oh valiant warriors and brave fighters, why do I call you and you do not respond? Mali unadikum fala tasma'u. I am calling you but you can't you listen? And Abu Abdullah said, why can't you respond? Then he said, oh my beloved companions, come and see the situation of the daughters of Rasulullah. If you are fast asleep, my companions, wake up and defend the daughters of Rasulullah. From here, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam narrated. He said, when Abu Abdullah finished addressing his beloved companions, you know what he did? Abu Abdullah then walked towards Khaymaga. And Abu Abdullah held his beard. When Abu Abdullah held his beard, you know what he said? He said that Allah was angry with the Jewish because they made Uzair the son of God. He said Allah was angry with the Christians because they made Allah one of the three. He said Allah was angry with the magician because they worship fire. He said Allah will be angry with this ummah because they are going to kill the grandson of their prophet. Narration mentioned when Abu Abdullah finished calling out, he then walked back to Khaymaga. Then he chanted the famous line, Hal min nasirin yansuruni, Hama min mugithun yugithuni, Hal min dhabin yadubbu an harami Rasulillah. Abu Abdullah called out, is there any helper to help me? Is there any assistant to assist me? Narration mentioned here, after Abu Abdullah finished calling for help, he walked back to Khaymaga. Now he went to the tent of the daughters of Rasulullah. He went to the tent of Zainab, tent of Layla, tent of Ramla, tent of Ruqayya, tent of Sakina, tent of Kulthum, tent of Zainab. Abu Abdullah, the moment he entered, narration says all the ladies began to cry. And Zainab began to cry, looking at the face of the brother. But there is one line which is so hateful here. Allahu Akbar. We are told when Abu Abdullah entered the tent, a voice began to come out from the tent. What was the voice? The voice was chanting, give me a rope and a sword. You know who was that? Imam Husayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. They asked Imam Husayn al-Abidin, why are you asking for rope and a sword? He said, I want a rope to lean on and a sword when my father called Al-Min Nasirin. I should be there to help and support my father. Narration says Abu Abdullah called out Zainab. Zainab, hold unto him, protecting him, because he will be the Imam after me. There is no purest person after me than Zainul Abidin. Narration says Abu Abdullah then gathered everyone and he began asking each and every one of them to pay allegiance to Imam Zainul Abidin. Once they finished paying allegiance, this is the moment where the lovers of Ahlul Bayt should demonstrate their love by taking all our hearts now to the holy land of Karbala. You know, when Abu Abdullah finished ensuring that each one of them paid allegiance to Imam Zain al-Abidin as next Imam, he called out, who will give me my horse? You know who brought the horse to Imam? Bibi Zainab alayhi salam. But you know, when Bibi brought the horse to Abu Abdullah, you know what she said? She said, Abu Abdullah, have you seen a sister with cold heart? But what was the response of Abu Abdullah? He said, Wallah, Zainab, you do not have a cold heart. You are the best of all the sisters. When she brought the horse to Abu Abdullah, we are told Abu Abdullah rode the horse. When Abu Abdullah rode the horse, he began to head towards the battlefield. Zainab was standing looking at her brother, and she began to chant, Mahalan, Mahalan, Yabna Zahra, oh Heste, the son of Zahra. Take it easy, the son of Zahra. You know, narration said, when Zainab alayhi salam chanted Mahlan, Mahlan, Yabna Zahra, Abu Abdullah stopped and he began going back to Zainab. This is that moment, that painful conversation between Zainab and Abu Abdullah. You remember that line? Abu Abdullah, when he came back, you know what he said to Zainab? He said, my beloved sister, there is one thing I've been asking you. And whenever I had asked you, you would always tell me that there will be a moment when you will be alone in Karbala, and that is the moment I will tell you. You know what was that day? When Bibi Fatima was leaving the world, she whispered into the ears of Zainab. So Abu Abdullah would always ask Zainab, what did our mom whisper into your ears? I need to know. You know, when Abu Abdullah asked Zainab, you know what Zainab did? Zainab all of a sudden looked towards Medina to Munawwara. But when Zainab looked towards Medina, she asked Abu Abdullah to open his neck and his chest. She said, oh Husayn, my mother whispered into my ears to say, there will be a moment when she will not be there, but I will be with you. That I should smell your chest and kiss your neck. Why smelling the chest? Because shimmer will start on that chest. Why kissing the neck? Because shimmer will strike 12 times on that neck. When Zainab kissed that neck and smelled the chest, Abu Abdullah hugged Bibi Zainab alayhi salam. Narration says Abu Abdullah then began to go to the battlefield. When he was going to the battlefield, he chanted the famous line, Ana Husayn ibn Ali, alaytu Allah unsa, ahmi ala iyalat abi, amdi ala din al-nabiy al-Mustafa. As Abu Abdullah was going, he was chanting, I am Husayn, the son of Ali. I will keep being on the path of my father, and I will protect and save the religion of my grandfather. But when Abu Abdullah went out, listen very carefully, mu'minin and mu'minat, this musibah. Abu Abdullah requested 3 things from Umar ibn Sa'ad. Number 1, he looked at them, he said, I am thirsty, I need water. And number 2, Abu Abdullah's request is what? He said, once you are done, I want you to take my daughters and my women back to Medina. Number 3, Abu Abdullah said, let us fight 1-to-1. Don't come around me together. Let us go on 1-to-1. You know what was the response of Muharram ibn Sa'ad? He looked at Husayn. He said, Wallah Husayn, we will not give you water until you drink from the water of Jahannam. Allahu Akbar. And he said, Husayn, your women, we will not lead them to Medina. They will find their way. And then the last one, he said, we agree we will fight on 1-to-1. So narration says, when they agreed to fight on 1-to-1, Abu Abdullah began to fight. He was warding them one after the other. There was a narrator, Abdullah. He said, I saw Husayn, and Husayn was warding them one after the other. And Husayn was approaching towards Furat. As he was approaching towards Furat, there was Amr al-Zabibi, one of the enemies. He had, according to narration, about 4,000 soldiers. But when he saw the way Abu Abdullah was fighting them on 1-to-1 and warding them off, he ran away. But when he ran away, Abu Abdullah came next to the water of Furat. Narration said Abu Abdullah got off the horse. When he got off the horse, he began walking towards the water. Abu Abdullah went and took piece of the water, and he came back to Zuljinan, and he was giving water to Zuljinan, but Zuljinan refused to take the water. Allah, I want to, when you have time, read this matter. Zuljinan refused to take the water, as if Zuljinan knew that the master will die thirsty. But look at narration says, when Abu Abdullah was insisting on Zuljinan to take water, there was a call from the camp of Umar ibn Sa'ad. You know what was the calling? Husayn is busy drinking water, and his women and daughters are under attack. Abu Abdullah, they knew he loved Zainab, he loved Sakina. Abu Abdullah left the water, he rode Zuljinan, and he headed towards Amaga. You know what happened? When he got to Amaga, they were not under any attack. They didn't want him to drink the water. But this water, which they give to dogs and pigs. That was the moment Abu Abdullah began to bid his final farewell. He called each and every one of them, and he began to bid his farewell. When he finished bidding farewell, He looked around, he could not see Sakina. He looked at Zainab, he said, Zainab, where is my Sakina? Zainab said, oh, Aba Abdullah, Sakina have no energy to look at your face and bid farewell. Zainab said, but Sakina is there. Aba Abdullah then walked towards Sakina. Sakina was standing there and the father approached Sakina. You know what Sakina said to the father? Said, Father, it's like you have succumbed to these people. He said, Sakina, I have no one but Allah. Then Sakina said, Father, I have a request. Father asked her, what is the request? She said, take us back to Medina. Abu Abdullah said, Ya Sakina, alayki bis sabr, be patient, oh Sakina. That was the moment when Abu Abdullah asked Sakina, he wanted to go. But as he was going, Sakina called out again, Papa, come back. You know, when she called him again, come back, Abu Abdullah asked her, what again? Sakina said, Father, can you pet on my shoulder and on my hair? It's like trying to say, Father, give me one last hug before you go. Narration says, as he was hugging Sakina, Ruqayya also came and Abu Abdullah was bidding farewell to both of them. Then Umar called out Umar ibn Sa'ad, don't let Husayn finish. When you allow him to finish to come on one-to-one, we will not be able to finish him. Go around Husayn alayhi salam. That was the time when they began coming and attacking Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah then left Bibi Sakina and Ruqayya headed towards the battlefield. When Abu Abdullah headed towards the battlefield, you know the first one what they did? The first one struck the arrow on the forehead of Abu Abdullah. We are told when Abu Abdullah was busy trying to remove the arrow from the forehead, another arrow came on the chest of Abu Abdullah. We are told as Abu Abdullah was trying to remove the arrow, another arrow came on the shoulder of Abu Abdullah. We are told as he was trying to remove the arrow, another arrow came on the back of Abu Abdullah. But all of a sudden, you know that struck of a Harmala. Allahu Akbar. We are told when he struck from behind, Abu Abdullah fell off his horse. But when Abu Abdullah fell on his horse, he was surrounded by arrows. This is where Arbab al-Magatil, some scholars mention, Husayn was like a hedgehog on the ground. Now when he fell down, the last part of the musibah, there was no movement and noise from Husayn. They were not sure if Abu Abdullah was dead or he was alive. So they had the plan. The only way for them to know is to say, go and attack Zainab. So Abu Abdullah was on the ground. The camp of Umar ibn Sa'd called out, go and attack Zainab. They knew Abu Abdullah loved Zainab. We are told he was lying on his back. When he was trying to rise, he fell on an arrow on his back. That was the time they knew Abu Abdullah was alive. Narration says they then came and surrounded the body of Abu Abdullah. Then Abu Abdullah called out, if you are not believers, at least be free men. Do not attack women. Then Umar ibn Sa'd said, the man is right. Leave the women. Go and attack the man himself. But now when Abu Abdullah was on the ground, nobody had the guard to go and finish off Abu Abdullah. But narration says, the first person they sent, Hilal ibn Nafi. When Hilal came to finish off Abu Abdullah, according to Hilal, he saw Nuru on the face of Abu Abdullah. And Abu Abdullah was reciting verses of Quran. Then they sent a Christian to finish off Abu Abdullah. When the Christian came, Abu Abdullah began to talk to the Christian. He asked the Christian, Do you know Fatima and Muhammad? The Christian said, yes, Muhammad is the brother of Jesus Christ. He said, I am the son of Fatima, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad. The Christian had no God. Umar ibn Saad called out, who will go and finish Husayn? That was the time when Shimr said, give me the chance to go and finish him off. Allah, you know what happened? Sometimes it's difficult for me to recite Maktal. It's not easy. It's not easy. Shimr walked to the body of Abu Abdullah. When he walked towards the body of Abu Abdullah, and they were all surrounding the body, you know what they did? The first one hit the head of Abu Abdullah. The second one kicked the chest of Abu Abdullah. We are told the third one came, he kicked the legs of Abu Abdullah. Then Shimr asked them, stop everyone. Shimr walked. You know the first thing he did? Shimr then held the beard of Abu Abdullah. He began to pull the beard of Abu Abdullah. But then after pulling the beard of Abu Abdullah, narration says, Shimr himself began to kick Abu Abdullah. That is why if you go to Karbala, if you know the story very well, Abu Abdullah is not buried where he was killed. They kicked his body from one point to another. Shimr kicked the body and he began to poke the lips of Abu Abdullah. But then the final moment, you know what he did? Shimr then sat on the chest of Abu Abdullah. But when he sat on the chest, he got his dagger. And the dagger was so sharp. That was that moment he began to dig on the neck of Husayn. But you know how many times he dug? He dug the neck of Husayn 12 times. And that 12th moment, by the time he finished, head is lying somewhere. And the body was lying somewhere. Where was Zainab? Zainab was standing at the Talli Zainab. But you know, the moment that really kills me, Zuljinan came around the body of Abu Abdullah. Zuljinan went around, realized that the head was somewhere, body was somewhere. Then Zuljinan began to head towards Sakhaimaga. But you know what is so hateful? When Bibi Sakina saw Zuljinan coming, she rushed to the house. She said, "House, where is my father?" Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un.